how's everybody doing? I don't know about you guys. I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. We've all been talking a lot and listening a lot and digesting a lot of information. So hopefully you guys are hanging in there. This is the last one. I promise I will make this as fun as I possibly can, maybe even a little bit silly because I'm feeling very loopy now. Is the future forked? I love the fact that you guys mentioned the fork thing because wasn't sure that everybody that this would land. But the idea here is kind of came from two things. One, I was watching oh gosh, what was the name? What's it? The Good Place, the show The Good Place, where you change certain words to other words because you're at the good place. So is the future forked? This is a question that's sort of, especially with like AI and all of these other kinds of things. You hear the terms AI slop, work slop, all these other kinds of things, and you're seeing these things happening. You're going, what is really, really going on? And so I'm going to kind of sort of answer this question in a roundabout way. So let's go. All right. So 10 years ago in 2015, InnerSource Commons was founded. This is our 10th anniversary. This is also the first time we have all been together in person in 5 years. So since before COVID, we've had no in-person summits. They've all been online. And so it's kind of exciting that we actually get to see each other face to face. There's some folks that I've been working with for years and I've never actually met in person, which is so, so nice. But I also did like a little bit of a silly experiment because I was kind of curious, like what sorts of things were we talking about around tech in 2015? Well, I do remember this a lot. Big data, cloud, get everything into the cloud. There's an app for that. There's, mobile, the internet, all of these other kinds of things that were happening in 2015. I don't know. Can anybody throw out like another one? Does anybody have another one that I haven't, that they don't see on here from 2015 that they can data lakes. Oh yes, that's right. Data lakes. Everything's going in a data lake. It's fine. That's going to solve all the problems. Cybersecurity is still an issue, but we were talking about it, I think, more in 2015 than we have more recently, which I think is probably, not quite as good as what we would think. So that's kind of where we were in 2015 when InnerSource came to be. It really was sort of a bold experiment that has lasted for quite a while. And it's thanks to the community and the community members, the board, everybody involved in all of these events and these activities, the presenters, the speakers, the people behind the scenes. This is why we still exist in the first place. And I think it's a really, really great sort of experiment that has continued to grow and evolve. We started off with very few participants. I think we're down up to like 3,000 members, 4,000 members in our community, which is kind of an exciting place to be. And, we're sharing our knowledge in places like this. There are community events that are happening locally. And so it's happening across the place, but people don't know what InnerSource is yet. I think we need to make sure that the word InnerSource actually comes up on a word cloud in the next 10 years. And the way we need to get there is by having a more human-centric approach to the way we build software, the way we build technology, and the way we use technology. We need to remember there are people. Otherwise, we're going to end up with chatbots talking to each other on a regular basis, and that's not going to do anybody any good. We really need to use empathy as a way of understanding the design process for other people. We need to make sure that we're putting ourselves in other people's shoes to understand what their experiences are, and we can bring those diverse perspectives back, and that will actually generate more innovation, more ideas. Innovation tends to come from things that don't seem to work together. I can't think of an example off the top of my head because I'm honestly tired and a little bit loopy. I had an example. I wrote it down at one point, but I don't remember what it was. We do have a tension that we do need to balance, right? How do we go fast while also being aligned? How do we, increase communication while also making sure that we're driving towards the end? How do we get funding for our projects? That's a big one. While also knowing that we need to leverage the wisdom of the group in order to be able to do the things that we want to do. How do we make sure that things are sustainable and also still go fast? How do we make sure that everybody is involved in the process of developing all the software, all the technological solutions, and also still be innovative at the same time? Right? There is a natural tension, and that's actually a good thing. We just have to remember that we have to balance that on a regular basis, and we need to double check and say, we might overcorrect for the inclusion, we might overcorrect for the innovation. That's the way we need to kind of facilitate the conversations. And one of the ways that I think we can really do that is by having servant leaders. As I'm standing here today, I am asking every member of the C-suite and executives to please, please, please empower your teams and get the hell out of the way. They need to just do the work that they're doing, and you're going to build trust with them. You're going to unlock their ideas. Be there for them, put yourselves in their shoes, and think about what it's like for them to have to do all these things rather than focusing in on productivity. So as a servant leader, you are still there to lead. It doesn't mean you don't lead, but you do it in service of the greater good or the larger thing that you're trying to drive towards. And it's not just your metrics. It's not just your strategies at the end of the day. So work with your teams, develop those skills and practice those skills to be a servant leader. When you have servant leaders that are really, really effective servant leaders, they tend to drive collaboration, because they are there their job is to empower the organization, the communities, to talk to each other, to collaborate together, and to remove the blockers that get in people's way. The best thing that you can do, if you are a leader of an organization, regardless of whether you're high up on the totem pole or not, the best thing that you can do is find a way to remove any friction that's getting in people's way. And that's going to help them be more collaborative over the course of the long haul. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of self-explanatory. To me, the way that I'm looking at this is that you really want to create a place of collaboration, innovation, and that's how you're going to sort of get to this sort of trusted space. All right, so 2015, the word cloud said one thing. In 2025, any guesses as to what everybody's talking about in 2025? Could that be AI? Could that be machine learning? Could that be LLMs? What else? Anybody got any other terms that we're talking about hearing today? What? Compute. Oh, compute. Okay, what is that exactly? Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, provisioning to run these things. Anybody else? Anybody got anything else? Agents. Oh, geez. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? That's not even in here. I think I need to somehow add this for the future. But yeah, agents, agentic AI. That's agentic AI agents. These are all sort of buzz terms that are thrown around, but we don't always know what they mean. And so I think sometimes it's okay for us to, without to borrow from Danny Kahneman, we need to think fast and slow. We need to be able to do both things and balance the tension of taking a minute, think about what you're doing, take the time to do the planning necessary to execute. So if you think about the work that the last speaker did in order to prepare for the Contrib Fest, and we were debating as to what the pronunciation was on it, but I think I got it. No. Contrib Fest, yes. Oh, that was great. Thank you. You had to take the time to put together an event. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal. You need to give yourself runway to do those kinds of things in order for them to be effective and them to go off without a hitch. And that's something that not everybody sees at the time that it's happening. It's all the stuff that happens behind the scenes. It's all the scaffolding and the stuff that's important in order for those things to kind of go well. And by putting yourself in your developer's shoes, you can make a better event and create better understanding and create more trust across your organizations. And so, yeah, you got to take the time to do those things and do those things well. So I have an ask for everybody who is in the cyber universe, the web place, the internets, as they like to call it. We have a choice in what future we want to build. It's not foretold. It is not destined. It is not a foregone conclusion. It evolves, it changes. And what we understand about where we're going and where we're at today is going to shift over the course of time. And so I think it's really, really important that we remember that okay, I'm going to get a little emotional because I'm going to bring up, we just saw the play yesterday, Hadestown, which always makes me cry because it's just one of those things. But so if you don't know the story of Hadestown is a story about two people who are in love with each other and are separated by various circumstances. Very Romeo and Juliet. This is kind of the story that we've all heard. But the thing that's interesting about the way in which the story is told is that, and it's retold in so many different ways, as a musical, as in various different things, they take this journey together, and you're brought apart, brought together, brought apart, brought together, and you're sitting there as an audience. I know what the ending is going to be. I know what's going to happen, and yet I still hope and pray that it's not the way that I want it. It's not going to end the way that it does usually ends. I hope every once in a while that I'll get a different result than that. And I think that's the thing about what we're doing today, and it's so meaningful about where we're trying to go. We have the opportunity to shape our future and make sure that it is not robotic. We're not interchangeable cogs in a wheel. Just because somebody's CV says one thing and has a bunch of skill doesn't mean that you can trade that person for this person and get the same result. You're going to get a different way of thinking. You're going to get a different way of collaborating. You're going to get something that's different every single time. So as human beings, you've got to bring the human being back into the conversation. Leaders need to do this through servant leadership, and they need to make sure that we're doing this collaboration on a regular basis. I think it's really, really important. And so to that end, I ask everybody here, tell your friends, tell your family, talk about InnerSource, make it be the word that can be on the word cloud in the next 5 years, not 10 years. I'm not even waiting 10 years, 5 years. Make sure that you can, get a chance to tell us how we did. So there'll be a survey that'll be coming out that's going to be sent to us. I know surveys are a pain in the ass. Please, 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 please fill it out. We won't know how to make it better if you don't tell us, right? So it's really, really important that you fill out the survey. When you get a chance, explore InnerSourceCommons.org. There is so much information. There are so many resources and materials on the site that you can find usable for you and your organization. Please check that out, and then join the community. If you haven't done so yet, there's a QR code on the back of the badges for those of you that are here. For those of you online, there should be a QR code. You should be able to scan it. Please, please, please join the InnerSource community and help us build a bridge to a more collaborative future.